Welcome back to another video. We are at round 6 of the US Sprint Enduro and round 5 of the Sxcs. This is going to be the cross test. And after I make some minor repairs, I'm going to take you out on the cross test. The cross test is usually a turn track, depending on the property, what type of turn track. Today we have some field and a moto track. The field is pretty flat, no off campers or up or down elevation, pretty much rock or root free. So it's a perfect time to get out here and rip up some track. The US Sprint Enduro is a timed event. You are running against the clock. I am currently first in my 50 plus A, which is super senior. I am a super senior, and that's the class I'm running today on my 300RR beta. The US Sprint Enduro has two courses. One is the Enduro course, which usually runs throughout the woods. Lots more obstacles out there to avoid, but this video is going to be about the cross test. I've already done one for the Enduro test. If you haven't seen that, make sure you check it out. The idea is to come out here and go as fast as you can and make as few mistakes as possible. And my method for this weekend was to get out in the grass as much as possible. This is Saturday, test 2 on the cross test. Usually they start on the cross test, we'll move over to the Enduro test, and then we'll come back to the cross test. And that's what this video is. It rained pretty much all day Friday. It dried out pretty nice. I'm running the field, or I should say the grass, as much as possible, but really I don't think that was the quickest option for the day. I think it's a little too much time consuming. I thought I could come in hot, slow down, turn, and come out hot. I did okay, but looking at my times, I'm thinking I could have done better if I would have just stayed consistent on the inside of the turns. That's the decisions you have to make when you're out here trying to go as fast as you can. It is a timed event, and you'll do each course 3 times a day. The cross test is usually about a 3 to 3.5 mile loop, and the Enduro is about the same, so you'll have 6 tests each day. We are at Promised Land MX, and yes, that is a motocross complex. And Billy was able to, at least on Saturday, use the motocross track for part of his course. There's something really fun but yet scary to come out here and have nothing but the course to contend with. There's no rocks, no roots, no ruts, no off cambers, but it is a fine line we have to walk. You come out here and you lose the rear end, get a high center, and those can hurt. Trust me, I've been there, done that. And that's what I'm trying to avoid this day. We're about to wrap up this section of the cross test. We're going to drop down through the woods. We have a little muddier section down through here as we transition over to the moto track. Unfortunately for me, I did not think we was going to be able to run the moto track because it was about 12 inches of muddy soup yesterday, the day before. So I've never ran this track before. I never went over and looked at this track. I was basically coming up on the jumps, not knowing whether it's a single, a double, a triple, a step down. I pretty much rolled about everything, and The gentleman behind me, Robert, he must be a moto guy because I saw him clearing a triple, and I haven't cleared a triple for quite a long time. I'm catching one of the senior A guys in front that started in front of me. I was hoping to get up on him, and that way I could see how the jumps were laid out. To be quite honest, I was pretty embarrassed about the way I was running this moto track. Should have doubled that. Looked like that was pretty easy. The jumps was one thing that I was embarrassed about, but the turns, I could not do a turn to save myself. I have a sand and mud tire on the front of this bike, and I'm just going to blame it for me not being able to ride a rut. But after running this moto track a couple times, it really looks like a pretty cool layout. Here you had a side option. You can do the big tabletop or the little doubles or whoops. But everything seemed super safe. I'd like to come out here one day and actually get out here and make some laps on this Promised Land MX track. I'm on my 2-stroke because my 4-stroke broke on the last race. I don't like jumping 2-stroke. As I struggle through this turn, I go back up and I see my competition. He is there on the left making the big triple. He's making time on me. And that's what this event is all about, is being able to go out as fast as you can, make as few mistakes as possible, and then coming in and see how your competition was able to catch or lose time on you. I was fortunate that Robert had a little mistake or took longer on the enduro side. Was able to stay in front of him most of the day, but he was definitely faster than me here on the cross test. I'm ripping up through here, and one thing I found out that the sand tire is not good for is the hard packed clay. Made a little mistake, really thought that was going to mess me up. Well, it did, but I believe Robert also went down in the same location. But that's pretty much one lap on the cross test at round 6 of the US Sprint Enduro, round 5 of the Sxcs. The Sxcs has 3 different events throughout the year. A GP, they have 2 GPs, 2 hare scrambles, and 2 sprint enduros, which is combined with their US Sprint Enduro. That's how that works. That's why this is only round 5. They'll have one more round with the US Sprint. I believe that is over at High Voltage. Make sure you check them out if you want to try that if you're in the Pennsylvania, West Virginia area. Now that was Saturday, and that was as good as it's going to get. I did come out and do another cross test. I did get a little faster, but so didn't Robert. But Robert had a little struggle over in the enduro side, and Perry Brown was able to pass him on the last enduro test and gave him a second for the day. I was first. Robert ended up third. John Casey was fourth, and Pat was fifth. But on day 2, it started raining at 3 a.m. and it didn't stop all day. and only myself and Perry Brown came out to play in the mud. I wasn't able to get much of that,
Front tire let me down.
mostly because the camera, it was raining so hard there was no way I could keep the camera clean. I got a little bit of it. Let's get out there and show you what we had to contend with on day 2. It's Sunday, day 2 of the round 6 US SPRINT ENDURO, and it's a mudder. This is my first test on day 2. I'm ready to go out and tackle the cross test. The main goal is not to go down and not to get hurt, and if possible, stay up front. This first section was pretty tough. Actually, the cross test was pretty fun out here in the mud. We had some roots and ruts to contend with right here coming out into the field, and probably this rut right here was the worst. It had some rocks and stuff in it, and of course around the tree we had a few roots. Now it's time to get out here and slip and slide in the mud. Unfortunately, going faster caused more roost, which jacks up the camera, and that's just about as good as it gets for the camera. I'm out here in the grass looking for traction, which was not the fastest route around the track. But that's pretty much all I got of day 2 of the cross test. Make sure you check out the enduro test. I do have a video, got a little more video of the mud out in the woods, but check that out. I am Trail Seeker Adventures. Make sure you like and subscribe. If you like anything to do with mountain bikes, dirt bikes, four-wheelers, make sure you check us out on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Thank you so much for watching, and sorry for not pulling a tear off. And I got my hands full out here, and believe it or not, I forgot all about the camera. But hopefully the next time I'll get a little more video and make it worth your while watching. Thank you so much for watching.